In macOS, the Finder is what's used to locate and manage files, folders, and applications. To start, let's look at the different ways that we can open a new Finder window. Head down to the dock and click on the Finder icon here, which is always going to reside on the far left. And clicking this is going to open a new Finder window only if none are already open. When I click again, nothing happens other than it'll bring the Finder window or windows that are already open into view in front of any other already open windows. Right-click on the Finder icon here, and we're able to select a new Finder window from the pop-up menu. So I now have two Finder windows open. We can also do this from the menu bar using the File menu. It's possible to open a new Finder window by double-clicking on a drive, disk, or folder that appears on your desktop. And finally, we can click anywhere on the desktop and then use the keyboard shortcut Command-N to open a new Finder window. Close Finder windows by clicking on the Close button in the far upper left or using Command-W. Now let's go over the contents of a Finder window. Up at the very top of the window is the name of the folder that's currently open. Right-click on this name and we can see the path to the folder. The iCloud Drive folder is the only one above this Documents folder. If I go into the Finances folder, the path gets a little longer. In the upper left of the Finder window are three buttons that are red, yellow, and green. These reside in just about every window on your Mac. The red button on the far left closes the window. As the cursor moves over it, an X will appear. The yellow button is going to minimize the window into the dock. This is a quick way to get a little more screen real estate back, but not lose where you are in the Finder. It's also possible to minimize using the shortcut Command-M. To retrieve the window from the dock, just single-click on it. This green button is the full screen button for most apps. To exit full screen mode, press the Escape key, or activate the menu bar by holding the cursor at the top of the display and click the green button again. Or utilize a shortcut, Control-Command-F. The upper area of the Finder window is known as the Toolbar. At the left, we have forward and back buttons. As you dig down into folders, these can help you move back and forth through them easily. They're a lot like forward and back buttons in a web browser. As I open a couple of folders, I can move back and forth through them by clicking the arrow buttons. The next set of buttons represent the Finder view options. Currently, we're in column view, which works from left to right as I go deeper into folders. When a file is selected in column view, we get a preview with information and some tools. This is my preferred Finder view, so column view is what I use just about all the time. Now let's switch over to icon view. In this view, we need to double-click on a folder to view its contents. Use the back buttons or the path view below to return to the previous folders. In list view, the files and folders are listed vertically, but we need to click the turn down triangle next to each folder to view its contents. Then we have gallery view, which displays the contents of the folder along the bottom of the window, with a large preview of the selected file or folder above that. We also get a nice preview panel over to the right. This is a good view to use when you're reviewing a lot of graphic or multimedia files. Next over we have the Arrange button. This lets us break down the contents of a folder in different ways. Here in the Documents folder, I currently have None selected in the Arrange button options. This will just default to listing the contents of the folder alphabetically, which will also be what happens if I select the Name option here. Choose Kind and things are broken down into folders and file types. Open a folder and its contents are also now arranged by kind. Arrange by application to break down the files by the application that they will open in if double-clicked on. For instance, Preview is going to open image files and PDFs. Next, we can arrange by some different date parameters. Date created will put the most recently created file at the top, but date modified is going to put the file or folder at the top that was most recently opened and saved. Arranging by size is a good way to see how much disk space certain files are using. Now let's check out the Action button, here with the gear icon. This lets us do things like create a new folder, open a file that's selected, or get info for a file. Most of these options will also be available up in the menu bar, so this is just another location to choose from. These last two buttons are Share and Tag. We'll cover each of these in their own lesson coming up. These toolbar buttons can be added or removed by right-clicking on a gray area of the toolbar and choosing Customize Toolbar. Most apps that have a toolbar will have a Customize Toolbar option like this. From here, we can add buttons to do things like display the full path to a file, create a new folder, delete items, or add a quick look button. Just drag and drop to place it. You can also drag buttons to remove them or rearrange them here in the toolbar. On the left side of the Finder window is the Finder sidebar, which we'll go over in its own lesson coming up soon.